UFC 295 is this weekend, and I'm gonna go over the fights that I actually care about, which is really the ones on the main card. The prelims, they're kind of shit, to be honest. Unless you're like a real hardcore fan. But I'm gonna admit I'm a little bit of a casual, so let's go with the main event. Prochazka versus Pereira. Guys, I have to go Prochazka on this one. I see everybody picking Pereira, because he's more technical. That left hook, that overrated left hook of his, that's all they're talking about. Oh, he's gonna get clipped with the left hook and he's gonna TKO him. All right, guys, let's be real. Pereira couldn't knock out Bruno Silva with that left hook. You know what I mean? And he landed them flush on his chin multiple times in that third round. The worst he got was Bruno Silva kind of wobbling around. You know, maybe if he followed it up, he probably could have gotten the TKO, but he got a sort of early stoppage over Adesanya, which probably would have ended in an actual knockout if he kept, striking. But he doesn't have that one, one-shot knockout power as people think he does. Maybe in glory days he did. Maybe those glory guys really don't have chins like these guys in the UFC do. But that left hook, in my opinion, is a little bit overrated. I understand it's very strong. It hits you like you're probably going to buckle in your knees a little bit. But I just don't think it's going to get much better at 205. If he couldn't knock out 185ers cold, what makes you think he's going to knock out a 205er out cold? Unless it's somebody with with that chinny chin. Like, if he was fighting against Dominic Reyes at this point, I would pick him to knock him out in the first round because Dominic Reyes has no chin whatsoever. But it's Prochazka, man. Prochazka's got a freaking granite chin. And even when he gets cracked, Prochazka, you have to kill him to get him out of there. Otherwise, he's not going to stop fighting. That's just what I'm kind of getting at here. I think everybody acts like there's going to be some crazy technical match and Prochazka's going to sit there and play in his range. No, he's not. Prochazka's going to come out there, guns blazing, trying to knock out this guy every second that he gets. That's the way Prochazka fights against strikers. People try to look at the Glover fight. Glover had the takedown threat. We're just pushing Prochazka a little bit away from just swinging like there's no tomorrow. Whenever Prochazka was fighting against Reyes, he did not care. He didn't have the fear of that takedown. He obviously had a little bit of the fear of the left straight coming back at him, but that's it. That's all Reyes really had. Pereira is very technical, but I don't think Pereira is going to be able to get any kicks on him because Prochazka is just going to be in his face 24/7. And the thing is, I believe Prochazka has a longer reach. I think. I should have probably looked at the stats before I did this. I think he has a little bit of a longer reach. He doesn't really use it to the best of his abilities because he dips his chin down. I understand he doesn't protect his chin, but I don't think that Pereira has that one-shot knockout power like everyone says he does. And let me tell you how this fight is probably going to play out. I think, it's going to be crazy anticipation. Oh, everyone's going to be up on their feet watching this. I think the first round, they're going to come out not crazy because Pereira never really starts at some crazy pace. I think Prochazka is going to take the first round a little bit slow. Not extremely slow, like feeling it out. I think he's going to take it a little bit slow just because he hasn't fought in so long. But I think he's probably going to get cracked a little bit in that first round. And it's going to click on him. Be like, you know what? If I just sit here and try to play in this technical range, I'm going to get clipped and I'm going to get knocked out. And I think he's going to just drop all of his, any game plan that he had. I think he's going to drop it and just go straight for the knockout. And here's the thing. I think Prochazka is going to take down Pereira in this fight. Because the thing about Pereira is people say he has really good takedown defense, which he kind of does. He has pretty decent takedown defense. It's not crazy good, but it's pretty decent. But the problem is, once you take him down, he's like a fish out of water. Israel Adesanya, if Adesanya had any sort of submission game, he would have submitted him in that third round. If you're getting out-grappled and nearly finished by Adesanya on the ground, that should be an eye-opener to you. And I understand he looked pretty decent against Jan Blachowicz, but Blachowicz is old. He was getting tired after a couple of minutes because they're at altitude, of course. So I can't take that Blachowicz win over, I can't, I can't take so much out of that win as if it's wow, he stuffed the takedowns. And then he didn't even stop the takedowns. What am I talking about? He didn't stop no takedowns. He freaking got taken down. I think he got taken down every single time Blachowicz tried. Maybe he stopped 1 or 2 takedowns. But otherwise, Blachowicz took him down with ease in the second and third rounds as well. It's just he didn't do anything because he was tired. But I don't think Jiri's going to necessarily be going for, submissions and all this sort of stuff. He potentially could, but I think it's going to be more just to scare him. You know what I mean? He's going to probably take him down in the first round, beat him up a little bit on the ground. Pereira can't get up on the ground when it's a big dude. I mean, he couldn't get up off, in the first round against Jan Blachowicz. He just couldn't. He had nothing for him. It took him forever. I think at the very end of the round, he kind of got up. But when it's a bigger dude, he can't really get up. He couldn't even get up against Israel Adesanya. And for someone like Jiri Prochazka, who went toe-to-toe with Glover Teixeira on the ground, I mean, it wasn't like he was getting absolutely dominated on the ground against Teixeira. I just recently rewatched this fight. Anytime Teixeira left an opening, Prochazka would take that opening and throw him over, flip himself over, and all of a sudden he's on top. He's in dominant position. It's just he's clearly not, the smartest man out there. He clearly doesn't think everything through before he does it, and so he would end up in bad positions time and time again against Glover Teixeira, who's a great grappler, who's been a grappler his whole entire career. You know what I mean? And Prochazka was able to stuff some of the takedowns and end up on top in a lot of these situations. So I think that Prochazka has that takedown in him. He can grapple. He clearly knows how to grapple at this point. He's clearly a very high-level grappler. I mean, the fact that he submitted Glover Teixeira in the 5th round, tired, yes, obviously, but submitting Glover Teixeira, didn't even have his hooks in. That should tell you something. And Pereira getting dominated by Izzy in that 3rd round, that should tell you something as well. You know what I mean? That's just kind of what I'm getting at here. I feel like Prochazka has that takedown threat, and I think he's gonna use it a little bit in the 1st round. They're going to take a little bit slow, but then I think in the 2nd round, Pereira's going to be like, oh crap, I can't get taken down or else I'm going to get dominated. I'm going to get tired out, and that's it, really. And he's going to start swinging for the fences, and I think he will clip Prochazka at least once. But here's the thing about Prochazka. You have to kill this man to take him out of the fight. He does not quit. What I'm really kind of coming down to in this fight, this fight is kind of a 50-50 fight. I think at some point both of these guys will be cracked. But what really matters to me is who can recover. And what I've noticed, watch any of Prochazka's fights and watch any of Pereira's fights, they both get cracked in basically every single one of their fights. But look at Prochazka. He gets cracked and he'll shoot for a takedown. Or he gets cracked and he just keeps going at you. Like, you have to knock him out cold or submit him out cold for him to give up. But here's the problem about Pereira. Look at the Izzy fights. First Izzy fight, he was doing good in the 1st round, gets cracked by a right hand over the top. And he just stood there. He just stands there like the stone emoji everyone calls him. He literally gets cracked and just stands there like, oh, I got hit. And then get hit. He got hit by a left hook right after that, but it was already kind of after the bell. Izzy couldn't hit him hard. You know what I mean? And then avoid it for the rest of the fight, sure. 2nd fight they had, it was the exact same combination. A right hand over the top, and that's it. Pereira's stunned, and he just stood there waiting to get hit again. And all of a sudden, Izzy hits him with the left hook and knocks him out cold. That's what I'm getting at. Pereira gets hurt, he's pretty much done. Unless there's 5 seconds left in the round, he's done. If it's anywhere in between the 5-minute rounds, he's going to get stunned and he's just going to stand there waiting to get knocked out cold. And the thing about Prochazka has bombs in his hands. I mean, like, this dude is knocking out people cold. He literally punched Uzdemir so hard his legs came off the ground. That's the thing. I feel like all it takes is one shot for Jiri, and that's it. He doesn't necessarily have like one shot knockout power either, but he can stun Pereira, and once Pereira's stunned, he's as good as done. It's over for him. He's gonna stand there, oh, I got hit. He's just gonna get bent over, stand straight back up, and just stand there like what are you doing, bro? Move. Try to at least, do some sort of head movement, but he's just too stunned, he's out of it. He has a little bit of a chin issue, I noticed. I feel like he doesn't have like a Like Izzy has a better chin than Pereira does, in my opinion. I think Pereira has like a Robert Whitaker type of chin. You know what I mean? It can get cracked. But here's the thing: Pereira can crack with his left hand. Sure, he's probably gonna crack Jiri at some point. But you know what Yuri's gonna do once he's hurt? Oh, he's wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. I should probably shoot the takedown. Take him down, and then he's kind of done from there. And I think that's kind of the game changer here. Some people try to say that Pereira has this ungodly takedown defense. He doesn't. He doesn't have that good of takedown defense. And then we're gonna hear another Prochazka interview. Oh, I looked bad in this fight. You know how he always laughs every time. I will be better next time, and that's it. And Pereira's gonna be out cold, and that's it. I don't think he's gonna take this belt from Prochazka. If he was fighting somebody else, I don't think Pereira really matched up too good against much guys at 205. I think these guys, there's a lot of heavy grapplers up top, and I think that they have that takedown threat. And we've seen it in Pereira, once Izzy took him down, Pereira was scared in the 4th round until the last 30 seconds. You know what I mean? I think that takedown threat, Jiri probably will put it on him. And once he puts it on him, I don't think he's gonna do too well. I think it's actually gonna be a little bit of an embarrassing kind of show from Pereira. He's gonna crack him, but then once Jiri takes him down and cracks him back, it's kind of over for him. I mean, I like both these guys, man. I don't hate none of them. I love them both. But I just think that Prochazka is going to get it done because he's so young. He's still learning. Look how fast he learned to grapple. I mean, Dominic Reyes wasn't doing too bad on him in the grappling. And all of a sudden, his next fight, he's fighting Glover Teixeira. And a lot of people I heard picking, Glover Teixeira through some sort of grappling sequence. He's going to submit him. And guess what? He couldn't submit him. Prochazka looked pretty good on the ground against Glover Teixeira, and I bet he was still training that up more and more and more. And his striking is just so weird. It's so strange. I don't think Pereira is going to be able to get this one done. So I'm going to pick Prochazka via 2nd round TKO, probably a knockout, not even a TKO. I think it's going to be a straight, like a clean knockout cold. Or if he doesn't knock him out, he's going to hurt him, take him down, and submit him. I think a 2nd round finish from Prochazka is what I'm going to go with. Moving on. Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. Oh man, that's a tough one. It's a tough one to pick. If it was full camps, I think I would very confidently pick Tom Aspinall. But I'm scared about that because Pavlovich he's been taken down and he got absolutely brutalized by Alistair Overeem back in the day. But that was like 5 years ago. Like, can we really take that into consideration now? I just don't know because he does have that Greco-Roman wrestling background. But I don't know. He got taken down pretty easily in that fight. He was able to stuff a takedown from Blades, but it's Blades. He's all plotty, and anybody can stuff those takedowns. Derek Lewis stuffed those takedowns. You know what I mean? Man, this one's a hard one. It can go either way. Like we can get another clean 1st round finish by Pavlovich, or it can be a 1st round sub or a 1st round TKO to ground and pound for Tom Aspinall. That's the thing, because Aspinall has that takedown threat, and we've seen Pavlovich look a little bit hesitant whenever he was fighting Shamil. However you pronounce the last name, you know what I'm talking about. He was a little bit tentative in that fight. He still got the 1st round knockout, sure, great, but he did look a little bit tentative. He was a little bit slower to just strike and go crazy at him. But even against Curtis Blades, I mean, 1st round knockout, yes, but if you watch the fight, he was a little tiny bit hesitant. You know what I mean? He didn't go just swinging like crazy like when he fought Derek Lewis or Taito Ibasa. There's no takedown threat, so he's obviously going to outbox him. I don't think anybody outboxes Pavlovich in the heavyweight division. But Tom Aspinall has the takedown threat, and if he gets him down to the ground, I think it's over. But can he take him down? Aspinall does leave his chin out in the air. Man, this one's hard. I'm rooting for both these guys, man. I love both of them. It's a great card. I should have probably made my pick before I even started recording, but I don't know, man. I've seen Aspinall get hit a little too much for my liking. But I don't know how good Pavlovich is going to be able to stand in front of him. You know what I mean? It's not Curtis Blades where all of a sudden he gets a knockout over Chris Dawkins and thinks that he can strike. You know what I mean? It's Aspinall. He's smart. He's going to stay grounded in this. He doesn't have an ego or anything like that. I think I might have to go with Tom Aspinall. Probably via first round submission or TKO by ground and pound. Just a first round finish for Aspinall. I think that the takedown threat is going to be too much. And I mean, potentially he could, Pavlovich could land an uppercut on the way in. He can outstrike him and stay on the feet. If this stays on the feet, Aspinall's as good as done. But I just think that I think he has 100% takedown accuracy. So, man, this was a hard one. I think it's going to be a first round submission or a TKO from Tom Aspinall. That's what I'm going to go with.